after 111 days of strike action at the National Gallery, has managed to score a victory for workers' conditions and has herself been reinstated after 111 days of strike. So Candy's going to speak for about 10 minutes or so.
Well, listen, I'm really, really pleased to be at this meeting, and the reason why I'm pleased is to say thank you, because we would not have kept fighting and we would not have won what we have won without the support that we've had. And I know that a lot of people in this room were part of organising and arranging that support and that solidarity. And it is a fantastic victory. I mean, we've won some very good guarantees, but if you're going to be privatised, the staff have won guarantees that their terms and conditions can't be changed without the agreement of the union, without the agreement of PCS. New starters, and if you know what private companies like to pay the terms and conditions of their staff and no occupational sick pay and all of that, we've won broadly comparable terms and conditions for the private staff to us. We've won union recognition and a lot of other guarantees, and I'm obviously also really pleased to be going back to work. And really the solidarity that has won us that, I mean, what it shows really is that strikes work, you know, direct action works, but above all, solidarity works. And that solidarity has been phenomenal. It has been quite overwhelming, actually, at times. And, you know, you can do it in figures. We've had 130,000 people sign our petition. We've raised, I counted today, we're up to something like £167,000 we raised for our strike fund. £25,000 of that was in cash delivered to our picket line. You know, that is phenomenal measure of the solidarity. And people around the country took photographs showing their support. The TUC did it from the beginning, but at the end as well. We had the support of Jeremy Corbyn and John McDonnell, but to have Jeremy Corbyn speaking out in public as the leader of the Labour Party for our strike at the TUC was obviously absolutely brilliant. And I think what you've been feeling in Manchester this week, and we were all up on Sunday, there's something different going on, isn't there? And we've been feeling that through the course of the strike. People want to see a fight back and they want to see an alternative. And that's why people supported our strike, to be honest. That's why the support was so overwhelming. And what we need now is we need a national movement that starts winning. And the lessons, for me, there's a few lessons. One is that our strike, I think, was so successful because we combined action and political campaigning. The strike on its own couldn't win without the political support that we got, but the political campaigning and just having public meetings or whatever wasn't enough. We needed the strike action. And the lesson that we've learned ourselves during the course of the strike is be braver and bolder than you ever thought that you could be at the beginning. And if things look like they're not getting anywhere, don't do less, do more. And we had to learn that, you know, going on all-out strike is a scary thing to do. And now I think a lot of the strikers think we should have done it before that we did it. You know, that's one of the lessons that we've learned. But also be political and link up your campaign. And by that, I don't just mean getting politicians, although if you get Jeremy Corbyn along, like the post office workers did on Monday night, I mean, I tweeted about that meeting, it looked like there was a demonstration outside, and somebody commented, no, it's a movement. But, you know, you can see what's going on there. Actually, if you think about it, if the post office workers took strike action with that kind of support that there is, think of the power then that there is. And but for us it wasn't just about getting politicians involved, it was also little things like I mean, it wasn't a little thing at the time, actually, it took a lot of work, but we painted 1,000 sunflowers on May Day. Doing that connected our strike, which was about our terms and conditions, to the movement against austerity in a way that actually we didn't quite predict, but it kind of, posting stuff on Facebook every night connected us to that movement. And that's something I think that we can all learn, and we can all do, and people are doing. And the more that you do that, the more we link up those fights and link up the action with the political campaigning, the more successful I think that we'll be. I guess another lesson for us and for me is that the left we have to be organised. The left need to be organised, because it's been absolutely fantastic having PCS and having our union support us. We couldn't have done it without them. But it has not been through all the official channels that we have raised the money or organised the solidarity protests around the country. It's been through unofficial networks like the people who are in this room today that have organised that. And actually, for me, being part of the Socialist Workers' Party, that network, thank you very much. You know, I mean, seriously, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to the SWP for being like a backbone to that network that has allowed us to connect up with people around the country. And the people who went out speaking all came back with stories about how they'd been taken round. I know you did this in Manchester, but that was replicated round the country. But also, just as importantly, I don't think I could have gone through the 111 days without support, without being able to talk through, because there were some very good and high moments, but there were also some tough moments, you know. I mean, Charlie will know, he's one of the people that I'd phone up and say, oh my God, what do we do next? And we need that, you know, we need that if we're going to work out how we take the action that's going to win, because we need to learn the lessons from other people and share the best experiences and pick each other's brains so that we get it right. And the last lesson for me, and this one is just, I think, the most inspiring. I mean, I've been a socialist for a long time, you know, and I have always thought that what Karl Marx says, that capitalism creates its own gravedigger in the working class, is something that can give us hope about where power lies in society to change it. But it's a privilege when you see that happening in front of your eyes, because there's nothing special about people who work at the National Gallery at all. In fact, you know, we're a motley crew on one level. My branch secretary, I love him to pieces. He hasn't got a mobile phone. He doesn't have a computer. You know, we've come from all sorts of different backgrounds. Mostly people weren't involved in any political activity at all before the strike. And people have, we've transformed ourselves into a fighting unit, into something where people can stand together, look after each other, not think that they've got to go back to work because that's the only solution. And people, you know, that was a real thing. It was a tough thing at times that we had to do that. And actually people have, I mean, I can think of one of the women who is now a shop steward and has been around the country speaking at meetings up and down the country, who wasn't even in a union a year ago, and who says it's changed her life. Her life will never be the same again because of what she's learned during the strike. And so, I mean, if we need now a movement that wins Jeremy Corbyn the next election, but that doesn't stop there. You know, we don't want to be stuck like Tsipras was and Syriza in Greece. We want to go past that, don't we? We want real change in this country. That means big tasks that we've got ahead of us. But to me, if we can combine the political ideas, the organisation that we need, and always look to where our power lies, where we can be collective and where we can be strong, then I think we're living in a very exciting time where we can see how we can not just transform ourselves in one workplace, but actually we can transform the society that we live in.